Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest. The weekly national report on thoroughbred racing is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Naira Net, the New York Racing Association simulcasting network. By Lane's End Farm, sponsor of the Thoroughbred Digest Trainer of the Month Award. And by Panhandle Slim Western Clothing, available at all Better Western stores.
And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome back to the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest Show. Time now for our Breeders' Cup feature race of the week.
The feature race brought to you by the Breeders' Cup, promoting racing year-round with the Breeders' Cup Budweiser Special Stakes Program, the new Premium Stakes Program, and the Breeders' Cup Day, racing's $10 million championship.
The conditions for the Philip H. Iselin Handicap, one of the richest, most important races for older horses in the summertime. Grade 1, $250,000, a mile and an eighth, 3 and up. Take a look at the field. It was supposed to be 10. We had one scratch. The entry, Lustra, and Crypto Clearance held as the 6-5 favorites. Jose Santos comes down from Saratoga to ride Crypto Clearance. New York Swell was scratched earlier in the day. Present value of the second choice at 2-1 with Frank Oliveira's riding. Me Selecto at 27, Intensive Command at 23, Proper Reality also at 2-1 with Jerry Bailey, the 6-horse. And rounding out the field, Little Bowl John up from Maryland at 10, Billy Shears, a real price at 39-1, and Back Bay Banquet at 73. Here's the call of the Iselin now, Dave Johnson from our ESPN telecast.
They're up. And Lustra went to his knees there at the start, but has the lead. On the inside, it's Lustra with Tony Grayel, showing the way by a length and a half. On the outside, Little Bowl John is second. Present value from between horses. Now those three across the track, battling for command. Back Bay Banquet is fourth on the outside. Then at the rail, it's Me Selecto in fifth by a head. Billy Shears is sixth. Then comes Proper Reality in seventh. Then comes the Bud Longshot Intensive Command, and Crypto Clearance is ninth and last, about 17 lengths off the leader. His stablemate, Lustra, who sets the pace for the first quarter in 23. On to the backstretch, Lustra on the inside, leading it by a half length, and Present Value on the outside. Now comes alongside to challenge, a gap of a length and a quarter. And Little Bold John, gaining with every stride, is third on the outside. Me Selecto, tucked in at the rail, is racing fourth by a length and a half. Then Billy Shears in fifth. Back Bay Banquet sixth. At the rail, Proper Reality and Jerry Bailey in seventh. Then on the outside, Intensive Command, and 4 lengths back to Crypto Clearance, who is last, and still has not begun his late charge. Around the far turn, the half in 46 and 4. And on the outside, Billy Shears takes the lead by a head. Along the inside, that's Present Value in second, Me Selecto third, and Proper Reality. Coming to the top of the stretch, Ruben Hernandez aboard Billy Shears, trained by Sonny Hine and taking command now by 2 lengths. Me Selecto on the outside is second. At the rail, Present Value is third. And down the stretch they come. Billy Shears digging in and holding on. Me Selecto on the outside. Jerry Bailey moves to the rail with Proper Reality. 40 yards to the finish. Billy Shears on the outside, and Proper Reality at the rail. A photo.
What a finish as Proper Reality just gets up against 2 long shots. There you see Proper Reality, the time of 1:48, turning 680, 420, and 380. The Florida bred by In Reality. And out of Proper Princess, owned by Mrs. James Wynn of Arkansas, trained by Bob Holtis, ridden brilliantly by Jerry Bailey, just beats Billy Shears and Me Selecto. Now let's take a closer look inside the daily racing form as we'll listen to Jack Kelly. Also hear the comments of rider Jerry Bailey.
The Iselin Handicap went as expected from the outset, with Lustra setting the quick early pace. He set a rapid pace at 23 for the quarter and 46 and change for the half, and it looked to be shaping up well for his entry mate Crypto Clearance, who was trailing the field for more than 5/8 of a mile. But it wound up being Billy Shears and Proper Reality, along with Me Selecto, that put on the show today. Billy Shears in the race with the withdrawal of private terms earlier in the week made a big run to take the lead at the 5/16 pole. Proper Reality gaining the respect that he deserves, showing that he had no problem handling the mile and an eighth.
You know, it may sound crazy. I've ridden him probably 10 times, 12 times. I think I've just found out how he runs the best. the more he has to overcome the last quarter mile, I think the better off he is. Billy Shears is holding me in very, very tight, and I'm trying to get outside the lead horse. I thought it was a better place. But he wouldn't let me out. My horse really wasn't responding, so I just let him drift to the inside like he did in the Met Mile, and he ran hard the last 16th of a mile. He really ran him down.
Great finish. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at a big 2-year-old stake at Saratoga. First, birthday wishes to a Hall of Famer and a racing legend. Welcome back on the Digest. Another big race we want to show you this past week, and I can't think of a better name for a race for 2-year-olds than the Hopeful Stakes at Saratoga, the 85th running. Let's take a look at the conditions. Grade 1, $200,000 added. The 2-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs, and here's the field of 8, starting with a 3-horse entry from the D. Wayne Lucas stable, Sir Richard Lewis, Carson City, and Bite the Bullet, adjudicating from Ogden Mills Phipps and the McGahee stable. And continuing on with our field, middleweight champ, big price at 70. Here's the favorite, undefeated from Dogwood stable, the 4-5 favorite, Summer Squall, Pat Day, Eternal Flight, and Dr. Bobby A. We're going to pick up the race in a bit on the far turn, but you need a little setup first because it was quite an incident in the stretch involving a number of horses that led to a 15-minute inquiry by the stewards. We'll hear right after the race from Pat Day and give you a close look at the inquiry. Right now, let's pick up the Hopeful Stakes.
Darrell. Dr. Bobby A. on the extreme outside, going for the lead with Carson City. And between them in third is Bite the Bullet. On the rail, moving up is Adjudicating. On the outside, Eternal Flight, then Summer Squall down the backstretch. Carson City gets the lead by about a half. Adjudicating on the rail now, second to Bionic. On the outside, Bite the Bullet is third by a half. Dr. Bobby A. back into fourth by about 3. Then Summer Squall on Eternal Flight, about 4 to Sir Richard Lewis. Middleweight champ is 8th. The quarter, 22 flat into the far turn. Carson City has the lead. Bionic on the rail, Adjudicating, moving alongside. Bite the Bullet on the outside is third, and behind the leaders is Summer Squall on the rail on the inside of Eternal Flight. Adjudicating moves right alongside Carson City. The half, 45-1. Bite the Bullet gains on the outside of Carson City. Now it's between Adjudicating, Carson City, and Bite the Bullet. Looking for room between horses. Summer Squall on the outside, Eternal Flight. They're in very close quarters, and Carson City has checked. They passed the 8th pole. Now Summer Squall gets the lead on the outside. Eternal Flight closing ground. Sir Richard Lewis. Sir Richard Lewis now takes second. They approach the wire. Summer Squall has the lead. Then Sir Richard Lewis. Summer Squall in front. Carson City has the lead. Bionic on the rail, Adjudicating, moving alongside. Bite the Bullet on the outside is third, and behind the leaders is Summer Squall on the rail on the inside of Eternal Flight. Adjudicating moves right alongside Carson City. The half, 45-1. Bite the Bullet gains on the outside of Carson City. Now it's between Adjudicating, Carson City, and Bite the Bullet. Looking for room between horses. Summer Squall on the outside, Eternal Flight. They're in very close quarters, and Carson City has checked. They passed the 8th pole. Now Summer Squall gets the lead on the outside. Eternal Flight closing ground. Sir Richard Lewis. Sir Richard Lewis now takes second. They approach the wire. Summer Squall has the lead. Then Sir Richard Lewis. Summer Squall in front.
There was ample room between them two for me to get in there, and once I got in there about a neck, Bite the Bullet made a left-hand turn and came in a good 2 or 3 feet and took away the running room. I was very fortunate. My horse was just very courageous and stayed in there and kept fighting. Julie was lucky that she got out of there and didn't get dropped, but it was not my fault.
So when the 15-minute inquiry ended, officially Summer Squall remained undefeated, winning by a length and a quarter in the Hopeful, 116-4. You see the Keeneland gavel, a $300,000 Keeneland sale purchase. It looks like another Keeneland bargain. He's undefeated now, 5 for 5 for Dogwood Stable and bred at Will Farish's Lanes Inn Farm. Sir Richard Lewis was second, and Eternal Flight was third. Well, Bruce Casella joins us now as we wrap up Saratoga's meeting. Congratulations. Angel Cordero Jr. wins yet another riding title at Saratoga, 14 in the last 15 years, 34. Jose Santos' 32.
And right, trainer D. Wayne Lucas did an excellent job. 54 starts, 16 victories for him, and that was mighty impressive.
Well, the 2-year-old's in the spotlight that final weekend at Saratoga. Bruce, a look at racing's future.
Like you said, Chris, hopeful is the word, because many of these owners and trainers are hoping that someday they will have the big horse. One of the many 2-year-olds racing at Saratoga this summer has a good shot of doing great things in the future. Things like winning the Kentucky Derby or maybe even the Triple Crown. Yes, the rookies were mighty impressive this year at the Spa.
From opening day to the closing weekend, there was nothing terrible about the 2s at Saratoga. Dogwood Stables owner Cot Campbell wasn't the only one thrilled when Summer Squall survived an inquiry during a stretch-run hit parade to grab the hopeful. The Stormbird colt wrapped up a 24-day meet of memorable moments by 2-year-olds that helped set new attendance and handle records at the track.
Now we know who to watch for as the year progresses, because in this pack here, you're probably going to have 3 or 4 Derby candidates for next year.
Summer Squall on the outside now.
Now 5 for 5 with 2 wins at Saratoga. Summer Squall goes into the fall races as the most experienced and successful of the 2-year-olds.
I tell you what, off a performance like this, the sky's the limit.
While Saratoga has become famous as the graveyard of favorites, it's also building up quite a reputation as the birthplace of champions. Some of the most heralded 2-year-olds in history got their start here. Devil's Bag, Swale, Easy Goer, all broke their maidens at Saratoga.
Red Ransom on the outside gets the lead. 4 really back.
On opening day, Red Ransom broke his maiden and the track record for 5 furlongs with a time of 56-4. Trainer Mac Miller is intrigued with the theory that drought years produce good runners. He says 87 and 88 were bone dry in Kentucky and Virginia. So do you think there's something to it, or is it just...
I guess so. I have the biggest 2-year-olds here I've ever had. And 2 of them run pretty damn good.
Red Ransom, how good is Red Ransom?
We don't like to go to the Derby unless we have a legitimate horse.
You think you might have the real McCoy?
Well, I think he's got a shot, yeah.
Miller's crowning tribute also won a 7-furlong race during Saratoga to keep him in the fall picture. And with a 2nd place in the hopefuls, Wayne Lucas's Sir Richard Lewis has redeemed himself. And Shug McGahee's adjudicating with a 4th in the hopeful and a 3rd at Monmouth after 2 early wins is a question mark now, with the fall races not far off. For the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest, this is Liz Bishop reporting.
Nice report, Liz. Well, talk about impressive. How about jockey Larry Snyder? Some of you might be saying, Larry who? But to those close to racing, Larry is well known. Last Thursday, he became a member of the 6,000 Victory Club. Let's watch.
They're at the 8th pole, and it's Speed Ski clear by a length. A late run on the outside from Part Witch. Speed Ski at the 16th pole by 3. Part Witch is closing, though. Speed Ski and Larry Snyder looking for win number 6,000. Will he get there? And he does, barely by a head.
I don't really know what to say. I'd just like to thank everybody, and everybody that's here today and got to see me do this, because I never thought I'd ever do anything like this. And I'm very thankful, and God was with me quite a bit.
Congratulations to Larry Snyder. Well, it was back to the races for the 1988 Kentucky Derby winner, Winning Colors. She had been out of action since May because of surgery to her throat. The 4-year-old galloped to victory in an allowance race at Saratoga, winning for the first time, folks, since the Kentucky Derby, when she won that race in front-running style. It is definitely good to see her back. Well, the sport of softball seems to be in full stride this time of year. I just got back from a tournament myself, but at Monmouth Park, Charity was the name of the game, and there is Julie Crone on the mound. 2 teams on the field was the Squires Pub and the Monmouth Park Jockeys. Julie giving up a hit there. Each team had their own charity, playing 2 games. The Jockeys won the first game, and $10,000 going to the Don Macbeth Fund. Now, in the second game, the Squires won that contest, and $40,000 going to the Ronald McDonald House and the Rainbow Foundation. Some big money there for softball at Monmouth Park, Chris.
I want to congratulate Roger King, King World Productions, put this whole event together. Went down to the casinos in Atlantic City, got some support, including from our friends at Caesars, put $15,000 into the charity softball game, so good job. Couple of the news notes.
That's right. Private Terms retired this past week because of an injury, and Easy Goer will pass up the Super Derby, so no Easy Goer matchup with Sunday Silence for that $2 million purse at Louisiana Downs.
Easy Girl staying in New York, looks like, for the Woodward Stakes. When we come back, the start of a special 2-part horse talk. We're going to go to a swim meet with jockeys with Dave Johnson. Stay with us. Well, our friend Dave Johnson came up with a great idea for Horse Talk, part 1 of a 2-part series involving jockeys and a swim meet at Monmouth Park, a unique swimming pool set up there for the jockeys, and Dave took full advantage of it. Even put up a little stake for the riders in terms of a contribution to the Don Macbeth Fund. Here is part 1 of the 2-part series with Dave Johnson on Horse Talk.
welcome to a special two-part horse talk. Now, it's not really talk, but more of a race in our Racing Across America series, but it's a race that you will not know the result of via the daily racing form. And for this special two-part mini-series, I have a co-host, jockey Carlos Lopez. And Carlos, what do you think of this field?
Oh, I think it's tough, competitive. I think I would love to be in it.
Well, we're talking about the field, no horses. The competitors are?
Jockeys, of course.
Jockeys. We're here at Monmouth Park, and the race takes place back here in the jockeys' quarters in the pool, not out on the racetrack. The distance, 2 laps. Post positions were drawn by lot earlier this morning. A field of 5. Michael Lee on the also eligible list doesn't look like he's going to get in. Here's the field, and they gave themselves their own morning line. Lane number 1, Matt Bigliotti, the starting favorite at 3-1. In lane 2, Tony Vega at 12-1. Then we come to the middle of the pack, and it's Diane Nelson at 10-1 on the morning line. John Melendez starts from lane number 4 at 8-1. Rounding out the field, Ruben Hernandez, the Budweiser long shot at 25-1 from the outside. Jimmy Ventura, our placing judge, timer, and starter. Well, we're out of time for the race this week, so you'll have to tune in next week for the actual contest. And Matt Bigliotti at 3-1?
Oh, yes, but I got the Budweiser long shot, which is Ruben Hernandez.
At 25?
At 25.
So no horse talk next week. It'll be the swimming race. Tune in.
All right, Dave, I've got my pick, Diane Nelson, 10-1 or at any price. She looks like a favorite to me. Let's go racing now around the country. We've got your spot here on the rail, and Bruce Casella is at the track.
Chris, they're off and running at Saratoga for their final week of racing. We begin with the John A. Morris on a day that set a new attendance record, 53,561 fans. The favorite is Rose's Cantina, winner of this race a year ago.
Bodacious Tatas still leads by a length. Colonial Waters on the outside, second by a length. Top Account joined by Royal Plume. Rose's Cantina remains in 5th. They're in the stretch. And now Colonial Waters gets the lead, goes clear by 4. Gaining ground on the outside, Top Account and Rose's Cantina. Rose's Cantina takes second. They pass the 8th pole.
And the 4-year-old Colonial Waters wins with Angel Cordero Jr. over Top Account and Rose's Cantina. Colonial Waters is by Pleasant Colony out of Watercress and is conditioned by Ross Pires. Now to the Grade 3 Budweiser Breeders' Cup. The top choice here is Equalize.
In the top of the stretch, and Equalize on the outside of Slew City Slew and Team Try gaining ground. Highland Springs. Highland Springs alongside Equalize on the inside. Slew City Slew is right there in 3rd. They pass the 8th pole. Highland Springs gets the lead. Then Equalize second. On the hedge is Slew City Slew on the outside.
And it's a nail-biter, folks, as Highland Springs sets a new course record with Kent DeSormo to win it by a neck over Maceo and Slew City Slew. Highland Springs is a 6-year-old by Lucy's Axe out of Highland Mills and is trained by Bartley Tag. Let's gallop now to Fairmount Park for their Grade 3 Derby. The favorite here is Western Playboy.
Squirming along the rail by ahead. Endover Man is right there second. Tricky Creek on the outsides racing 3rd by 4. Western Playboy now 4th. Coming on through the stretch. Andover Man on the inside. Tricky Creek second and reaffirming 3rd.
And it's Andover Man at 17-1, winning with Mike Smith over reaffirming and Tricky Creek. Andover Man is by Mr. Radoy out of Gronus and is trained by Rusty Arnold.
Well, when you come back, we'll take you to Del Mar for more racing. First, another birthday wish for the best trainer in thoroughbred racing over the last several years. Well, join us on the rail now for your spot for more racing action at one of the most beautiful tracks in America coming into the final weeks. The turf meeting the surf at Old Del Mar.
And away they go at Del Mar for the Oaks. The top choice here is the entry of Darby's Daughter and General Charge.
They come for home. Stylish Star now gets the lead from Tapping Tudor. Belle Darling. Darby's Daughter on the outside and General Charge. But Stylish Star has opened up on them.
And a big upset here as Stylish Star wins it with Chris McCarron at 15-1. Second was Darby's Daughter. Her entry mate General Charge ran 3rd. Stylish Star is by our native out of Northern Style and is trained by Dan Hendricks. Let's move now to the Cabrillo at Del Mar, and the top choice here is Lively One.
But now here comes Lively One to take him on the outside. This pair gonna fight it out. Speed Radic trying to find more. Lively One chasing him home. On a medal coming on in third, but it's Speed Radic finding more. Lively One's coming at him. Lively One flying. Lively One's gonna get him.
And Robbie Davis guides Lively One to a length and 3/4 victory over Speed Radic and Putting. Lively One is a 4-year-old by Halo out of Swinging Lizzie and is trained by Charlie Whittingham. The Longacres now and a Grade 2 mile. The favorite here is Simply Majestic.
Now on the outside, Simply Majestic takes the lead. Double Quick holds second. Crystal Run now is third. Harmony Creek is closing. Simply Majestic. Crystal Run drives on the outside. Simply Majestic has the lead.
And for the second week in a row, Simply Majestic finds the winner's circle. Second was Crystal Run. Harmony Creek ran third. Simply Majestic is a 5-year-old by Majestic Light out of Beaming Bride and is trained by John Paracella. One final race now, this from River Downs. It's the Bassinet. The favorite here is Icy Folly.
Ribs in between. They're into the home stretch, and More of the Best has the lead by 3. Mama Cielo on the outside is not gaining ground, and the favorite Icy Folly is running out of ground. It's More of the Best, and Icy Folly's coming on.
What a big upset here as More of the Best wins it by 8 lengths over the heavy favorite Icy Folly and Mama Cielo. More of the Best is by Topsider out of Lady Gwyn and is trained by Bernie Flint. Now earned over $120,000 in 5 lifetime starts. He purchased at Keeneland in November of 1987 for $18,000.
Thank you, Bruce. It's our final week before we select our Lanes In Trainer of the Month award winner for August. Let's take a look now at some of our top trainers this past week. Bernie Flint, you just saw his races. He pulled the upset with More of the Best, returning $89.60 to win the Bassinet at River Downs. Stylish Star, a tremendous performance for trainer Dan Hendricks. All the top stories in thoroughbred racing. Join us next week on the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest.
Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest, the weekly national report on thoroughbred racing, has been brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. And by the Illinois Department of Agriculture.